Okay, guys, Joseph here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Oh, and work was pretty hard today. Shit news is that I don't have leave next week, so I'm a bit upset about that. So I can't get leave for next week. So basically, I was gonna have to wait for another period where I can take some leave. Realistically, I've little idea. Like, a few people got leave here and there, but I can't get leave for a single day. Or I can't get leave for a single day, like only 1 or 2 days, but I really want the entire week off, so I can like really focus up. But nah, they got declined. So it'll be like 1 day on Monday, I think. Then I go back to work. And yeah, I don't know what they think I'm doing. I'm like honestly saying I just want to rest. Like, I just want to rest because I haven't had a leave for like 6 months, and I've been put way under the pump at my work, way under the pump at times. I just want to take a break, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do as well is I feel just have the second break day with streaming. Anyways, I don't really want to turn the tune down on like this sort of stuff. Oh man, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on today. Everything looks pretty good. Overall, there's not much CS:GO news today at all. Like, there's all like little tidbits here and there about certain things and all that crap. Like, all little tidbits. So just probably go through that today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we get into code names. We have a few players. It's gonna be a bit less than last time, but we'll see what we can do. See if there's any subs want to play and stuff like that. And at the end of it, I think I may play some Persona 5 Strikers afterwards as well, because it's got that downloaded. I can go straight into the game. Now, next up, let's just start with the news in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome to Chilltime with Jose. I'm your host today, Jose. Basically today, I was going to line up an interview, but I think a lot of people are watching IEM Katowice, so I didn't get an interview in the end. So I was going to line up one just for, a few moments or so, but I think I was a bit late anyway. And yeah, so that is kind of the interesting part about that. 2 seconds ago, I was just typing a few things with my really, really loud mechanical keyboard. Now, overall, it's been IEM Katowice. The play-ins have been probably the biggest focus, and some, of course, the relog tournaments going on in the background. Now, overall, we'll get the Katowice roundup first, then we go into the player transfers, and I don't know really what issue to really discuss in CSGO today at all, because I feel like a lot of them have been discussed to death. I know, Geographically Challenged today, E6 section. Hopefully they've not really stirred the pot on that, because I was told not to stir the pot on that. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. Should I finish Persona first? Not really, considering the fact that I don't think it spoils the previous game too much. Anyways, let's get to the first part, okay? So we're going to go with the Katowice play-in roundup. So Spirit, Big, and Gambit essentially went to the play-ins. Kind of expected. I did say this as well, that like Spirit, Big, and Gambit were probably the teams that are going to get through it all first. Actually, the missing one being VP. Like, VP didn't get pushed in first E, which is actually a bit of a upset. But as you can see there, VP definitely not in there. Now, ooh, 2 seconds, guys. We can actually put it back here, because all my HLTV have the not sports mode on, which is a bit concerning. I think I'll just F5 all the articles. No, because like if you want to know why I'm doing this, is because some people in they think I'm DDoSing. Okay, yep. Okay, cool. Boy. Wait, you got a gag order? No, I didn't get a gag order. It's just not to talk about it. like not to stir the pot on it, due to the fact that they're negotiating things at the moment for ESIC. But anyways, let's just get into it. Probably most of the other stuff is just player roster related. We can go back in a bit later to it. But anyway, so basically Spirit beating Gambit won through in the end. Kind of expected, to be honest. Like, look at the teams they're versing. Like, Spirit should easily get in, Big should easily get in, and Gambit should easily get in. They're versing teams of definitely lower caliber, unfortunately, with these BO1s here. So you can see here, like, fairly easy victories. Now, on the other side, like, basically, Dip took care of Complexity. Complexity looked really, really bad this game. And you can see here as well, like, look at the ADR, like, pretty poor. And Renegades barely lost to Mouse. Renegades had full control of this game, by the way, and just slipped out. And, of course, first Pro took down Whistler. Now, on the other end as well, we've got the Katowice started as well. And basically, Gambit, EG took care of Gambit. Very close affair here. And how I said it was going to be, like, Gambit's going to be a top 10 team. Look how close they get with Evil Geniuses. Like, even though it's a 2-0 loss, but, like, literally it's only a 9-round difference. Like, literally a 9-round difference between these two teams. There's no delay at all. There's no delay at all. So don't think there's a delay. There's no delay at all. It's been turned off. Now, on the other hand, yeah. So, in other words, G2 actually lost to Spirit, and I'm going to say here that G2's in a lot of trouble here because they got Nico and a few other players, and they lose to a team. I'm going to say that now, that a team that they should really beat, okay? Like, they should have really beat Spirit, okay? I don't know how they lost to Team Spirit. Team Spirit's probably the underdog in this scenario, I'm going to mention. Mainly because of the fact that Team Spirit is like, probably tier 2 Russian team. They're not a tier 1 Russian team. And G2 losing to these guys, like they did, is a bit of a problem, especially 16-14 on Train, which is, I think it was G2's. Oh no, that was Spirit's map pick. But yeah, losing on Inferno as well, which is a aimer map against Spirit. And even though Spirit do have Dexter, Dexter, and Certus was really, really happy with them, I don't think this should be happening for G2. G2 should be probably a 2-1 or 2-0 win for them. So that's a bit of troubling signs here for G2. Now, Blast have announced that they're having multiple spring qualifiers from North America, Latin America, Iberia, and Western Europe and Nordic regions to qualify. I'm assuming Nordic region will be through the normal cup, which will be like a Nordic Masters. Yep, there we go. And there's multiple other cups here as well for the relative other qualifiers. There's a actual qualifier in NA, and I'm not sure like where it'll be hosted or who will be casting or anything like that. I think Blast last time like just basically hired casters for it, as far as I know. So those popped up, but I'm not terribly too sure what will happen here. Basically, it'll be organized with 8 teams. It'll be 8 spots for the chance. Basically, as you can see here, one team from each qualifier gets a direct invite. I think there's going to be multiple American qualifiers. Would be surprised. I don't think most casters called Spirit to win that. Dude, I would expect G2 to win that. Like, G2 should be expected to win that, to be honest, as a tier 1 team. But like, Spirit's been in such good form lately. But like, it's just showing with the casters even turning on teams on G2 that they're not very good anymore. Let's be honest, like, not very good at all. And like, G2 like have a potential to be eliminated in this Blast showdown. Like, I feel like there can be some decent teams that come out of this roster that could eliminate G2. Nika already ruined that team. Well, it's a bit of a shame. That it happened. But yeah, like, I think the addition of Nico has really hurt their team. Anyways, we got some more discussions here as well. We got basically the NA scene, PT actually mentioning it. Now all the up-and-comers have had a name but really never had the chance. They're going to be able to shine. So basically, essentially, John G and PTR made a team called the Bad News Bears with Swisher, Alta, Spongy, John G, PTR. I'm just going to say, most of the players that couldn't get into a Valorant team, jumped off the ship, off CSGO to a Valorant team, basically building up a team. It's probably rude to say something like that, given the fact they're trying to help out the CSGO scene. but it's mostly that. I think, you know, PTR does mention as well. This article is done by Norte, who's a very, very good article, very good author. And yeah, so what happened was that, like, what happened was that basically all these players couldn't find a Valorant team to join, as a lot of CSGO players have jumped to Valorant. And I think it's starting to happen again with Overwatch, or similar thing to Overwatch, where the CSGO pros that jump over to said game slowly get replaced by, like, players who've just played Valorant, okay? Like, at the start, it's the CSGO players, and over time, they get replaced by different sort of players. For example, Brax and AZK getting removed in 100 Thieves. Well, ironically enough, automatic, of course. But, like, even that's going to happen as well. Like, a lot of these CSGO players that have spots in these orgs are probably going to get replaced within probably 3 to 6 months, we're going to say. And yeah, like, I reckon that's going to happen. Like, I reckon they'll be coming back to CSGO, realizing that they're going to make up for lost time. And the problem is that no orgs are interested in CSGO in the NA region at the moment, which is pretty depressing, to be honest. And, like, you got a team with very good quality teams that have won a DreamHack and have competed against some good EU teams, being unable to find an org. But if you put a ragtag bunch of crew on Valorant, you get a tier 2 and tier 1 org, you know, right on your lap. And I think something's really up. Like, something's really wrong with this sort of thing occurring again, like, you know, in Valorant and in the scene of CSGO. I think something's really rotten, in my opinion, because it just seems odd that a team, you know, will pay probably double the salary. Like, let's just say John G and PTR go to Valorant. They'll pay John G and PTR like double or triple the salary they'd get on CSGO. And I think something's fundamentally wrong there, that NA teams are openly throwing money, hoping that Riot start an exclusive league. Like, that's a little secret there. And I think something could have been going on in the background, to be honest, that's keeping them at Valorant. Now, yeah. So, like, as you can see here, like, basically the previous lineup, you know, Dapper, Dazzle, Mitch, all went to Valorant, okay? Like, and not to mention that Bad News Bears, you know, winning the season for Premier, winning back-to-back cash cups. And look at that, you know? So pretty much like what happened there is that they went back to Valorant, didn't work out, went back to poker. I think this is actually the funniest one from PTRs, going back to poker and stuff like that. But yeah, like, you know, just needed help. But yeah, you know, like, if you read a lot of this and stuff like that, they reunite, and I've got to say now, it's like, it's basically the team of Bad News Bears at the moment. It's basically one Triumph player being Spongy, and a whole bunch of players from Yeah, and 2 players from the old Bad News Bears. And like I was going to say here, like, essentially, like, PTR, what PTR is saying is, like, if you're an up-and-coming player in the NA scene, and you want your chance to shine, you got to take it now. Like, you know, this is your time to shine and really sell yourself as a person that deserves it. Now, this is a big issue here for the NA CSGO scene, is the fact that they have no top tier orgs investing in it. With a lot of their orgs at the moment, like Team Liquid and Complexity, looking to Europe instead. And I'm gonna say something really quick. Like, I know Nerd Street Gamers has gone full Valorant. They're not hosting any CSGO tournaments anymore. I know a lot of the smaller leagues are going to full Valorant as well. And I'm not, like, and also there's been a lot of scam tournaments in Valorant as well. I'm not terribly too sure, like, it's like, this is why I think something's being said in the background, to be honest, because, like, Nerd Street Gamers paid, like, casters who didn't get paid by Pulse Arena to probably, like, to repay them as a good faith gesture. And Nerd Street Gamers, I think, have the rights to the qualifiers. So I'm being way too conspiratorial, but I think something's been happening there where they're like, oh, you're gonna pay these guys back, make us look good, so, you know, we're being the good guys here, but not actually right doing it, you know, that kind of thing. But anyways, we'll go to the next one. It's gonna be Apex. So Apex returns for IEM Katowice, so they get the RGL back. They put the RGL on break, I believe, is on a letter by the coach during the last Premier groups, because the coach wasn't too happy with how Apex was playing, or was. and he needs to deal with personal issues. Now, basically, Vitality have a 6-man lineup anyway, so Nevera could easily step in. Essentially, now, Nevera is going to be only playing on Nuke and Duster, I believe, and Masuda will be playing on Inferno instead of Shocks. And yeah, basically, to get Apex back, I've got to say that probably sounds legitimate because I don't think Vitality would want to bench Apex, and also not to mention that, a few other players weren't, he wasn't like multiple benching for burnout over and over again. Now, this is completely expected after the entire HLTV thing. Yeah, Sunny's left Ents. I don't think, thank you for the follow. I don't think he was ever going to be going back to Ents, to be honest. Don't think he's ever going to go back to Ents. Especially with Arlu still there. So, kind of expected that this was going to happen. Like, since Sunny had a fallout of Arlu. Not like... It was linked to a move to Godsent, which is playing out of Fun Plus Phoenix. This is like the craziest it's been afterwards. They're going to be a flush and automatic before no interest from established organizations, according to Flusher. And this is like the strangest part of it. Like, Flusher and Automatic making a team, and they're unable to get a single org to fund it. It's just the same story. Like, you got two players who are very, very good at selling their own stream and stuff like that, and they can't fund an org. Like, they can't fund an org that's willing to pay a good salary, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell. Sunny leaving Ents was linked with Flusher. And that's pretty much it. Actually, there was a bit of drama today as well, but not really intentional. Essentially, Recon 5 had two teams in a DreamHack qualifier, and their academy team was in there, and they didn't realize it. And then the academy team got disqualified because the owner didn't know either that the academy team had entered. But next, this is like kind of expected, given that Dexter moved to Mouse Sports, is that, Alistair was going to join Renegades, okay? So Alistair played with Renegades in the IEM play-in last time. Kind of expected. I think the room mill's running overtime like probably 1 or 2 months ago, that Alistair was joining Renegades and Dexter was joining Mouse Sports. The reason why Mouse started selecting Dexter is because apparently he did not have kids and he was an accountant. Like, they thought Dexter was an accountant and had kids and would have issues moving over to Europe, even though that was a joke between mates. And, well, isn't that ironic, okay? Isn't that ironic? Next up is Dexter. So Dexter basically saying, I chose Mouse Sports because he didn't have to get any pressure to perform right away. I'm not sure about that one, Dexter, okay? Not sure about that one. This is done by Professor, by the way, from HLTV. I'm not sure about this one, to be honest, because given the criticisms to a few IGLs that are meant to expect to perform right away, I'm not sure about that. A lot of people were very, very fussy. Like, if you don't perform in your first 2 games, they're like getting really, really, frustrated. And as you can see here, Dexter, 26-year-old. And yeah, so pretty much... he's a bit sad he has to leave him, and he's very, very happy with what he does. And yeah, so pretty much he's gonna get his own apartment, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, working from Mouse Sports HQ, so he's in Germany at the moment. And yeah, basically he said he had multiple offers from multiple teams, but I chose Mouse Sports because of an opportunity to grow without pressure right away. I'm just gonna say, I don't think there's too much into it, to be honest, because I feel like I've literally new spots on T and CT on every single map from what I used to play. Okay, so he's learned a bit more there, but yeah, it's been kind of interesting with Dexter's Q&A here, but you can read more of it on HLTV. But overall, I just feel overall like it's good that finally international team has recognized some Australian talent, to be honest. About time, because like previously, like everyone like calls like Australians basically silvers, bots and stuff like that. And it's finally good to see some Australian players being picked up, like Dexter, for example. And I think it really started from Leipzig, to be honest, where basically the Renegades lineup came second after every single analyst was saying they won't, they'll be going out first round or stuff like that. And they also said that, like every time Renegades, won a map, it was like, oh, they got lucky, gimmicky plays and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here going, like, just give them some credit. Like, seriously, give them credit. Like, you got to give a team credit when they win games. Like, it's, I don't, like, sometimes, like, some of the analysts are very, very harsh, hard to give credit to certain teams for winning that. And it can be quite incredible, but it's good that, we see that, basically Dex has been picked up. But he asked a few questions about that as well, about a few players in the ESA Premier. TJP said that Sterling could be the next player. And I'm not sure, did I ask Bedonka the same question? I don't think I did, actually. Because I think I only got onto that subject of TJP because he mentioned Renegades. But yeah, I was going to actually probably ask most of the players cast in Mount Dew League on, who they think the next players could be picked up. Like, I think it's Sterling, then Hazard. Personally, I think there's a lot of players in the Advant roster that can easily move into an EU ESA Premier team, even to an ESL Pro League team, because they're good enough. Like, Hazard, for example, very good at holding sites, able to, get, 2 or 3 frags, very, very important player. You got Sterling, who's an absolute gun of an AWPer, and, he could probably fit into a lot of teams as well, other than the CIS region teams, because I think for his profession, like, trying to get into CIS teams probably near impossible. But then again, language barrier kind of prevents that to begin with, so that's a bit of an advantage to Sterling. Now, the other one, another one that someone mentioned, that I was thinking as well, I was thinking of, I'll say in a year or two, if Addict keeps going with where he's going at the moment, he could probably make it to a tier 1 team as well, a tier 2 team, and Vexite as well. Like, those are probably 2 players as well that could make it to a tier 1 or tier 2 team in the international scene, because mainly, just think about it, get some fragging potential. Addict has already got the composure of a professional player. He just, doesn't feel pressure, as you can see, in a lot of his clutches and a lot of his, frag videos where he gets, 2 or 3 kills pretty easily. He doesn't feel much composure issues, and generally I'm going to say it's usually the mental battles for a lot of players that dictate whether they win or not, whether they're confident or not. And Addict's been, showing very good signs of it, and I think he could be picked up as well. VP are destroying Na'Vi. Oh, well, it's Dust too. I'll tell you guys now, okay? Talking about Renegades, of course, let's just get back into the stuff. Basically, Renegades, of course, they versed VP. They versed VP on Dust 2. And I did talk about it in a tweet. I talked about it to... We'll just get onto the story later. I actually talked about it to Ince's mother, being, I think it's Annette. And I said to Annette, I tweeted to Annette, being like, VP is possibly the worst team that Renegades would have to verse, because Renegade's best map is Dust 2, and VP literally shit on any team that they play Dust 2 in. They are too good at Dust 2. Dust 2 is their best map. And Renegades are sitting there, VP picked Vertigo. They're like, oh, well, Renegade's going to pick up best map anyway. They're going to have to, otherwise we'll just force them on the decider. Force them to pick on the decider. And, if Renegades pick Inferno, it's another map that VP's good at. Since Nubage Brazen chat, VP are destroying Na'Vi, I do agree with that. VP are very, very, very good. In fact, what I'm going to do, actually, in the meantime, when I go into this mode, I was going to put up chat. So, I can see what you guys are saying. There we go. Oh, man. That's not good at all. Trying to see if you guys can read it. There we go. James is just too damn good. Well, overall, it's VP's best map, but for a reason. You saw Renegades. Dust 2 is their best map, and they got destroyed 16-3 by Virtus Pro. Unfortunately, they're just way too good on Dust 2. Anyways, let's just get back to the news. We got Carragher leaves Mouse Sports, kind of expected, going back to FaZe. There we go. Back to FaZe. Apparently, Cold Zera raised the alarm saying that we need an actual in-game leader. We can't just basically go off the wall. Basically meaning that Olaf is the one to be chopped off in the end, as Olaf leaves. I don't think this will be the last time we'll see Olaf. I think Olaf will find himself in a tier 2 team, potentially a tier 1.5 team, given his final form that he played in. You know, basically, I think his final game for FaZe where he actually bossed it out in the end. Kind of expected for Olaf. Olaf did not play very well in FaZe, to be honest. He played pretty poorly. Didn't play up to his usual standard, had a lot of breaks and stuff like that. And of course, like Olaf will probably, you know, not be being there. Carrigan coming back to FaZe. And I think it was pretty obvious after Nico left that Cold Zero getting the team together, being actually, gotta say, Cold Zero thinking in a long-term point of view, which definitely did not come in MIBR at all. And getting Carrigan to return to FaZe. They've got Brokey, they've got Rain, like this roster looking really good. And they also pick up Twists as well from Liquid. Oh, not from Liquid, sorry. Was it from Liquid? I'm trying to think. Yeah, from Liquid. And that's looking like a pretty hot lineup. And, you know, that's a great move considering you got your consistent Fragan, Rain, you got Cold Zero, your superstar, Twists as well can chime in, you got Brokey, Orpa, who's been an absolute star for FaZe. Like, he's probably been one of the unsung heroes. And now you got an IGL and Carrigan, okay? You got an IGL that, you know, can probably work these guys to, you know, their full potential, essentially. Next up is going to be, this is actually an interesting one. Omakin Esports picked up Heroic. So Heroic once again. Oh boy. So it's a Norwegian organization. I gotta say, hopefully this Heroic roster does not get fucked around like they did with FunPlus Phoenix, with how that deal fell through, with, you know, Astralis intervening and taking Esatag or whatever. But as you can see here, I think this one's gone through. So Heroic finally being purchased up. I think Heroic have been trying to sell, you know, their team or being acquired for a long time. Like, you know, they have been, you know, looking around and they've finally picked up Heroic. And Heroic have finally been picked up. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, by the way, this should be obvious to no one. Is that good or bad? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like, I feel like Heroic wasn't a big enough Danish org to really compete against Astralis, so they needed like another big parent org to help them be competitive against Astralis. Because, like, if you look at North, Astralis, and all the other Danish orgs that are in the top area, Heroic's the odd one out. Like, Heroic really only has a CSGO team, and that's it. Like, Heroic doesn't have like multiple different teams and multiple different leagues. It is literally just CSGO. So they're a little franchise. So overall, basically Fallen takes over IGL over Stewie. Pretty much confirmed that. So Fallen's going to be IGLing Liquid. I'm going to say this move from Liquid's actually turned out to be really, really good in the end, as Fallen seems to be revolutionizing the team. Now, a lot of people were critical, including myself, saying that this wouldn't work out. This would be actually a doom for a Team Liquid. It's working out quite well so far. Yeah, it's working out quite well so far. It's the honeymoon period, I know. But hey, it's working out so far as well. And also, you not to mention that, you know, Liquid have been struggling without Nitro. And, you know, they got Fallen to the roster. They got Grim to the roster. They got rid of Twists. And, you know, they're playing extremely good now. Similar said this morning on the stream that Stewie is still calling most of the time, so I don't know. Okay. Well, I think it might be the trash talk now. Stewie's calling out all the trash talk now, okay? Next up, this is actually kind of sad, to be honest. And is that Anarquez? Well, him and Hellraisers are leaving. I have a kind of, like, I kind of have a suspicion what Hellraiser is going to do. I think Hellraiser is going to pick up either XE Power or Disbalance. Most likely XE Power. Given the fact there's too many good AWPers on the market, and this is what sucks, okay? This is what sucks for Anarquez and any other AWPer, is the fact that the CIS region is littered with too many good AWPers, okay? Like, Disbalance and XE Power are pretty decent. Anarquez is a very good AWPer. It's just the fact that in the CIS region, it's just too many good AWPers, okay? Like, Dexter, who replaced Disbalance, like, he's an extremely good AWPer too. Like, let's go through all the AWPers in the CIS region, as I said last week. Jame, Simple. Like, you know, that's the top two teams. Then you got Gambit with Shiro. Like, you got probably 3 out of the 5 best AWPers all crowded into the top 3 CIS teams. Like, it's incredible. So, like, I feel bad for Anarquez. I kind of saw this coming. I'm like sitting here being, dude, the orb competition in the CS region is fucking tight. Super, super tight. And, you know, it's a bit of afraid there. So MIBR eliminate IEM, Fnatic, Complexity proceed against against Whistler Cacao. Kind of suspected. I'm actually a bit surprised that Complexity actually stayed in the playoffs in the end, given the fact that they had not been playing quite well. They do defeat Whistler, and Whistler, I'm going to say now, Whistler, yeah, Whistler are probably the odd team out in that Katowice play-in. Like, they're definitely not good enough to get through that play-in. And of course, I think Fnatic went 0-2 to be eliminated by MIBR. And I've got to say, this little lineup here with bolts and all that stuff is looking quite promising so far. Now, but not least, Astralis have done this. Okay. So Astralis have submitted a 7-man roster for IEM Katowice, including Vesta. Now, they've also announced Vesta as being part of Astralis, coming out of Astralis talent, so now they have a 7-man roster. We have no idea whether or not that Bubsky, who's named a 6th player, by the way. So we're going to go down here to Bubsky. He's been named too. We have no idea if these two are actually going to be played or not. They've actually stated in the HLTV article as well, they're not sure if they're going to be playing as well. Like, we're not expecting Vesta to be, you know, playing in a tournament, stuff like that. But what's going on with Strauss? I have no idea, to be honest. You know, basically they're saying, like, if 2 players are out, we will not hesitate to put him on the server. So I'm not terribly too sure what's going on here. Like, I have no idea what's happening. Like, is 2 players going to magically have mental issues again on Astralis? Like, I have no idea what to expect here. Okay? No idea what to expect. And these guys at the moment, you know, they're playing in the leagues. I think they're playing on ESA Advanced too. Essentially, I gotta start pinging for codenames, by the way. Not terribly too sure what they're trying to look for here. Like, even as, I think Vitality have even submitted a 7-man roster too. So I think, you know, so is Nip as well, actually. Nip's another one that's used as well. So I'm gonna say here, being like, I don't think there's anything nefarious behind this for Astralis, or, you know, since Nip and a few other teams are doing it. I think it's just using it to the full advantage, just in case someone's unwell, they can just put another person in the server. That is that is allowed to do so. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Like, is it kind of a move to say that, oh, if you want to leave, you've got backup, so, you know, you're not needed at all. I don't think it's that kind of setup, given the fact that the Nip has done the same thing as well. But you never know. And now, last but not least, VP qualifies for Katowice over at OG over Renegades and Cloud9. I'm gonna say here, like, 2-1. I'm gonna say this is actually pretty good for Cloud9, given the fact they were quite close, but obviously not close enough. Like, that's actually very, very good, considering the scenario that this roster here at OG should definitely beat Cloud9. And it was, you know, kind of good. It got pretty close, you know, over past 16-11. This game was just a slaughter on Dust 2. Like, this is what I'm talking about. 16-3 on Dust 2. And that is Renegade's best map, okay? Renegade's best map is Dust 2. They got completely pantsed on it. And last but not least, well, Flatrune Synopsy. So they leave Secret. They start up with Blink. Blink's in Advanced at the moment. And pretty much what's probably going to happen is that Blink, like, they're probably going to carry Blink to, like, if they get into ESA Premier, what's going to happen is that Flatrune Synopsy could probably replace that entire team. Like, I think that could be the, like, that could be potential. Actually, no, it's an Albanian group, I believe. But, like, they could potentially replace with a few more players as well, you know, from the Albanian region. Like, there's a lot of, you know, players that they've used to play off, you know, with Rigon and a few others like that, Tudson. But I'm not sure, you know, how Team Blink's going to go here with it. Now, Team Blink has been basically blasting a lot of teams on Advance. Like, they completely destroyed Gron 16-3. And I feel Blink, if they keep the roster together, are probably going to get to ESA Premier direct from Advance. They're probably going to win the entire tournament. I've never seen a team be able to blitz, like, teams like Sinners and Finest, and where the other team only has single digits, like, realistically. And they've just been absolutely blasting teams at the moment. Now, last but not least, we're going to get this done before we get to codenames. But yeah, overall, like, that's going to be it for Chill Time with Jose. It's going to probably pop this down here. Trying to figure out where to move this chat so you guys can see it. Maybe down here instead, maybe in the center. But overall, it's not much news at all. Like, I'm going to be blatantly honest, not much news at all. Really, just all, like, transfer news, tournament news. No dramas, really, which is actually probably a good week for CSGO standards to have no dramas. And yeah, that's probably one of the, like I say, one of the quickest chill times I've done. Probably one of the less media, which sucks, you know. I do rather having, you know, a lot of things to talk about, but today, just ain't it, man. Just ain't it. But yeah, nothing to really discuss. Thank you guys for being here. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the video if you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys for next time for Chill Time. See you guys out later. Peace out. Bye.